and benvenuti ancora. Welcome again. It is time for the Serie A end of season awards. Finally, it's what we've all been waiting for. And to kick us off, we are going to start with goal of the season. Now, we did have some nominations. Let me go through them. I think, as I find them, I should have really prepared this already. Adam, who are your nomination? What is your nomination for goal of the season?
I've got two, and I don't know if it was just freak that they were against the same side here, but Rory, I'm going to give you the options here. So I've got Nicky Gonzalez, who had a fantastic left-footed shot on the turn for Fiorentina against Lazio. And then the other one, Rory, is a certain player that was in your Calcio side. It was Marin for Empoli versus Lazio. Again, this was where they were 2 behind. They managed to bring it to 2-2, and it was Marin with the equalising goal. Again, thunder blast plus the goalkeeper at the time. And yeah, Lazio just seemed to be the unlucky side on this occasion for 2 of these magnificent goals. I had to remind myself before we actually did this recording of how good these goals were, because one of them is a mazy run in Nico Gonzalez, and then the other one is just a fantastic kind of taken volley from the edge of the area, especially against the run of play, because it was basically a corner that kind of gets defended by the Lazio defence, and Marin just shakes the back of the net with this incredible shot. But Rory, what about your nominations?
Well, funnily enough, one of mine is also against Lazio, and it is Teo Hernandez doing his customary seasonal coast-to-coast as he ran from one length of the pitch to the other to fire it into the top corner at the San Siro for AC Milan. I think that's my main nomination, but I did enjoy the Marin goal because Marin scored some absolute bangers this year. Every goal, he didn't score many, but every goal he scored was fantastic. From Fede Farco, he nominates the Kvara goal versus Atalanta, which was an absolute screamer as well, and Pedro versus Hellas Verona. Joe Spagnoli says Kvaratskhelia against Atalanta again. And I also wanted to give a shout out to the scorer of fantastic goals, but not the fantastic scorer, Candreva. Now we could pick a handful of Candreva's goals this year because he has scored some screamers. But I think the one that really caught the eye was the little Zlatan-esque finish against Roma at home. Candreva's been a delight. Salernitana have been a delight. They might get a mention later on in the show. But do you remember the Candreva's handful of beautiful goals?
There's been many, hasn't there? There's been a few this season, and that one in particular, I do remember. He kind of just flicks beyond Rio Patricio in the goal, and he's just kind of standing there, just doesn't know what to anticipate. But I remember the crowd going absolutely mental because, like, Salernitana don't have much to shout about, but they certainly do with Paulo Sousa and Candreva. So, they've been living it up in the last sort of 4 to 5 months recently, and I mean, that was a superb finish. That was a superb one. I want to kind of bring it back as well. Kvaratskhelia, that one is definitely a good shout. I did forget about how good that was, because if you remember, that was about the 70th minute, if I remember rightly. It was quite late in the game. And I think this was at a time when Atalanta were kind of frustrating Napoli away. But yes, that was a fantastic, mazy run that kind of ended up with a classy finish. If you remember, that was kind of the goal that kind of helped them confirm the title as well. They obviously still had a few games to go, but that was one of the games where you felt like the title was going to Naples. The title is going to Naples, and that was a fantastic goal.
It was one of those moments where he proved that he could become like a clutch player as well, where he could step up in those moments and be like, no, I'm taking the game, I'm winning the game here. I think that was a really huge moment. Yes, really, really enjoyed that Kvara goal. I do also want to say, from Atalanta, there's been so many good goals in Serie A this year. Coop Miners versus Monza, where he just absolutely pings it from the halfway line over the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper's definitely a little bit further out than he should be, but it's still a very, very good finish. And I wanted to give a little shout out to a goal I really enjoyed towards the end of the season as well, which was Udam versus Bologna in the game where he got 2 goals for Lecce in what was a massive result for them. And he had a volley kind of side volley angle around the defenders into the top corner. Really beautiful finish. But I think my nomination is going to be Candreva versus Roma, just for the audacity of it and because it's Candreva.
Ooh, I'm split now. I do feel like, as much as I love Candreva, I'm almost tempted to go Kvara, but then I wonder if you have it in your sleeve that you might give him a different award. I might, just for sympathy votes and the fact that Candreva probably won't win any of the other awards, including Young Player of the Season, I might go with you.
Well, there we go. Our first award against all odds is Candreva doing his tribute to Zlatan and scoring against Roma. An incredible, incredible finish, but one of a collection of great goals he scored. Congratulations, Antonio. We hope to see you again next year in an ever-improving Salernitana team. I can't wait to talk about them later because I have a lot to say about them later.